Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of the Power Grid podcast featuring myself, Battery Power, and.
Capshotz, what's going on, everybody?
Let's go, baby. Okay, hold on one sec, everybody. We are, for some reason, running into a little bit of technical difficulty, so if you guys give me just one quick millisecond. There we go. Now we're back in business. Not sure where our screen went, but now we're back. So, everybody, how are we doing today? We are going to be talking about Champs Weekend number 1, and it was feisty, Cap.
Oh, it's fucking insane. A lot of shit wrong. I think out of the 7 or 8 playoff matches, I got only 4 of them right, which it's still close to 50%. I think that's still good enough to take from, but definitely didn't. Am not gonna place in the 100K bracket here.
No? Oh, you can barely hear
Definitely
Cap.
not.
Well, then good. I'll turn him up.
Turn me the fuck up.
Okay, how
God
about now?
damn
How
it.
about now? There we
How
go.
about how the fuck am I sounding? Am I sounding sexy or what? What's good?
Sounding extra sexy. I don't know what. All right. Well, you know what? We're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna go with the first matchup of the day, and we're gonna be talking about that Paris Seattle that Paris Seattle game because it was exactly how we thought. Uh,
I sound sexy, but so quiet as fuck. Huh.
Still quiet. Really? Still quiet. Okay, let me go into my Discord. Give me one sec. Let me see if I can edit it. Let me see if I can edit Cap's sound in here. Give me one sec.
Holy shit! Look at me.
Holy, I can't even see. I can't even figure out how to turn your shit on or turn it up. There we go. Oh my, yeah, you're way low. Okay, now go ahead and say something.
Penis.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so we got some
We got it.
technical difficulties. Okay. Losers round 1. It's a one and done. These teams are losing, you're out. So we're talking about Paris and Seattle. Original prediction that I had was a 3-1. You had a 3-1.
I had 3-1 as well. Yeah.
Yep. But Paris kind of surprised us a little bit. It's just clean sweep 3-0. 250 to 110. Search and Destroy was a little bit closer, 6-4. And the S&D was a heartbreaker for being a Seattle fan. 153 to 150 is never an easy game to stomach. So, how do you think the game went? What did Paris do right? What did Seattle do wrong? What could have changed?
Well, Paris, fucking the one game you really thought, or 2 games I guess you really thought were the first 2 respawns. Their hard point obviously all year was not that great. Like we touched on the first, episode, we said that Seattle's hard point was kind of abysmal. Sometimes really good, sometimes really hit or miss. But most of their games, their record doesn't really show that how they kind of went about hardpoint this year. They played most of their games really close, didn't really get blown out. But of course, the one game and the one time you really need to step up in hardpoint, they just couldn't do it. They absolutely got outclassed. They got outclassed, outgunned. I mean, it's just whatever, however you put it, 250 to 110 on Gunrunner, and a map that you should honestly have a really close matchup pretty much every time on the pro level just did not happen.
Yeah.
The Dom, I mean, they were down by, I think, a good 25, 35 points at the end of the first half, and they almost brought it back. They were so close, and I think we're going map 4 here. Seattle has full control, and then, we'll touch on it later on the whole Paris, little spot. I mean, we literally thought, I thought personally, I was like, they're gonna win this Dom. Like, it's actually gonna go map 4, and then there's a chance for anything else to happen there. Map 4, map 5 can always be a toss up, and honestly, with how close the 6-4 S&D was, on I believe Arklov was the map. Seattle was kind of surprising me a little bit. Octane was playing pretty damn well when it came to that search, which is something that I didn't really expect because all year Octane has been so hit or miss when it came to search and destroy that when he played that good, I was thinking they have a chance. They have a chance to win this and potentially win this series and surprise a hell of a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, we got some we got some people in the chat right now. Norcia said my Seattle Cinderella run prediction didn't really pan out, and no, sir, it did not, unfortunately. But I wasn't expecting Seattle to do anything. If you want me to be completely honest, when you're going up against a team like Paris, who is at the bottom of the standings, I'm fairly certain that they were sitting at 10th at the standings. You're going up against the 12th ranked team, a team that hasn't won a team that's been absolutely beaten, battered, and bruised over the entire CWL season. I'm sorry, CDL season. You just kind of expect it, and it doesn't make it any easier to stomach. Actually, watching Seattle lose kind of sucked. Watching Octane lose, it's hard. It doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. That is never easy to see, especially somebody of that caliber, somebody that went on. I mean, look at Enable and Octane both won championships last year with 100 Thieves. Enable sat on the bench this year. So for me, Paris did really well. Shox was just a different player. I think he was the difference maker in that S&D. He was able to clutch 2 separate 1v2s. He played incredibly smart on the map during the respawn, and I think that, I mean, some of the other analysts out there will say that it was Dens, but I'm sticking to Shox. The APAC hero came in and really carried Paris to that 3-0 win. So what went wrong and where do they go now? I mean, we're talking about Seattle, so what we're going to be doing here is every time that a team is eliminated, we're going to be talking about what is this team going to do in the offseason. And again, total speculation. We have no idea who's going where. We have no idea
Not
if
a
they're...
fucking clue.
Yeah, and you don't know about
No clue at
contracts,
all.
and there could be 4 teams out of next year. There could be 6. There could be none. Nobody knows. So again, it's all speculation, but it's fun. So, with Seattle, this team had a lot going on. I mean, Karma retires because, well, Karma retires, Enable gets benched, and Proto and Pander jump in. But why was Seattle blocked from making moves? You saw Octane, Slacked, and Karma both tweet out pretty consistently, I would say, right before the switch to online when they were still having some issues. They said that the moves that they were making or that they wanted to make were being blocked.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was one of the reasons that Karma may have retired, was to force the hand of Seattle to make a move. Which is sad. I mean, Karma's the GOAT, Mr. 3 Rings, and that man doesn't even finish out the CDL season in the first season. I mean, it gets to 3-4 months in, and he's done, and that
Yeah.
sucks to see. You never want to see anybody like that. You don't want to see anybody who built the Optic dynasty just fall out into oblivion. That sucks. So I guess the question is, Enable tweeted that he wanted a team with Octane again. So, does Pander and Proto have competing spots in the CDL, or are they going back to riding the pine?
Man, for me, honestly, I think if Proto and Panda end up staying in the CDL next season, I don't find it being on the Seattle Surge. If they want starting spots, they either branch off to one of those teams that come next year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see them being on a team like Seattle, where there's people like Octane. I mean, if you're Luminosity, if you're like the investors of the Seattle Surge, you're not going to want to let a player like Octane go. Period. You build around him. He is literally like the Mike Trout of fucking the CDL. I mean, you have somebody of an amazing caliber, and even Octane, once his stats were done, he was disgusting after 30 minutes. I mean, he had like a 1.26 or something like that in that whole entire series. Played absolutely out of his mind. Played incredible, and then just everybody else fell flat. Besides Apathy, which I'd like to say, I said that he was my make or break player for this team, and even though he had to be that person to play well, it wasn't enough. Apathy played pretty well. I thought Slack played pretty well, and then Pander and Proto, man, those were the 2 absolute fall offs for me when it came to them losing that series.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, Octane had a funny tweet, but it was kind of sad. I mean, if you look at EasyMax stats, Octane was sitting 7th overall that day, technically tied for 6th with a 1.08 KD and hardpoint alone. He sat 4th in domination with a 1.24, and if that's not impressive enough, the one fucking S&D he played, he capped off at a 2.33. So what does Octane do here? Is he going to stay with Seattle? I mean, the question is that are these contracts signed all throughout the year? Are they going to be on the team next year? Are these guys teaming on the same roster and then, they'll sign another contract? Because if I were Octane, let's be real here, man. I'm going to Optic. Kenny and Slasher are both there. Enable is on the bench. He's not going to want to be on the bench for very much longer. And Draza and Hollow are nasty, but I don't see Optic holding on to Draza and Hollow if somebody like Octane and Enable want to rejoin that 100T that 100T grind and try to win under Optic. That would be scary.
See, man, my problem with that is at that point you have potentially 3 people who will be duos essentially when it comes to being on a team like OGLA. You have the TJ Dashi, you have Slasher Kenny, and then you'd have Enable and Octane. Potentially we could see something like maybe Enable being a coach or something like that when it comes to OGLA next year, which would kind of suck because Enable, even in his bad state, wasn't necessarily a bad player. He didn't necessarily grind, I guess, is what he even kind of said early in the year. He didn't take it as serious as he should have when it came to it, and even when he got that second chance again, it wasn't working. That team was falling apart completely, and it showed, and it didn't really help his stock anyway when it came to playing next year. And it was sad to see that he also had to tweet out that was my final chance. Like, I'm not going to get another chance this year, which didn't make much sense at all. I mean, it was really at that point people just throwing caution to the wind and saying, fuck it, let's see what happens. I mean, hell, they even had Octane, one of the greatest ARs of the past fucking 5, maybe 6 years, even using a sub just to see if Karma could fucking run an AR and then do something better for the team. And the fact that Octane was even doing kind of decent, that kind of says something of the caliber player he is. But honestly, I just don't see Seattle letting go of somebody like Octane. Like I said, I honestly, we don't know how contracts work either. So that's going to be something really, really interesting as far as, what the hell is going to happen this offseason as far as roster moves and stuff like that. Like, is it going to be like a trade system? Is it going to be some type of, how is that going to work when it comes to being more of a franchise league?
Yep.
Is it year-to-year contracts? I believe if I remember correctly, they get year-to-year contracts. I remember reading something like that when the first stuff was being told about it when it came to the franchise league. There was leaks of kind of just like year-to-year contracts and stuff like that. People could sign multi-year contracts, and I'm sure teams like Chicago and teams like Empire and FaZe and stuff like that have signed like multi-year contracts because you're team with people who are there with you. It's undoubtedly teams where they're at the absolute tippy top with you. I remember Chase last stream and last podcast telling us that he kind of came up with a different little roster of just top AMs plus Octane, basically with like Enable as a coach, or Apathy. I honestly don't truly remember who he said, but there's a lot of opportunities for Octane to get some good players around him for next year, and hopefully he really needs it, man. He deserves it. He last year, like you said, being a top AR, being a top player last year, and being on a team that was winning everything, and then even made almost one of the greatest, if not the greatest, losers bracket runs in probably Call of Duty history last year in Black Ops 4 with 100 Ds. Octane needs some fucking help, man. He needs
someone help Sam.
Deserves someone help Sam. He deserves a good roster around him of players who are going to do the same shit as him.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I am with that one.
Same drive, same will, same want to practice, same everything. Yeah, he needs to surround himself with that. So, well, so again, that was Paris and Seattle, and we had Paris winning. I had Paris winning 3-1. Cap had Paris winning 3-1. Paris ended up winning 3-0. So, not bad, not bad. We're going to move on to Optic Gaming LA and the LA Gorillas, also known as the Battle for the 405.
I like that.
Original prediction was mine, and I said 3-0, and Cap said 3-2, and the actual was 3-2. And I would like to say that I think it would have been 3-0 if Kenny didn't get hit offline.
If he didn't get fucking absolutely booted from the servers,
my God.
Like, whoever booted him in that situation there is Leonidas in fucking 300, just absolutely fucking kicking that motherfucker down the hole.
Sent him right down the pit, bro. Like he was
down the pit.
He was gone. And Maven's, oh my God, between Maven and Merc talking about it, it was hilarious. So Merc goes, well, it looks like Optic Gaming is down to 4 players. It seems that Kenny's been booted. And Maven goes, oh wow, I didn't even realize it. I'm like,
yeah, that was the same thing for map 4 on Petrograd too, man. I remember like tuning in, watching that, and then kind of just playing my own game, then like looking and realizing, wait, Kenny's gone again. And then like once the casters realized that, it was absolutely hilarious to just hear, all right. They're basically just fucking sitting there twiddling their thumbs, like, what the fuck now?
Yeah,
What?
can't
Like,
hit.
I mean, like, you can't cast over a 4v5 and make it interesting. You just can't.
Yeah, because it's going to be a blowout, and that's what happened. I mean, as far as I remember, when Kenny was booted in that Gunrunner, uh, that game was close.
Yeah, it was
It was a
very close game,
it
and
was like a
Optic had
15.
just broken.
Yeah,
Optic had just broken P5.
yeah, it was. Yeah, they did break P5 because P1 happened and Kenny wasn't there, and P2 is when Maven finally took notice and was like, oh.
Mhm.
So, and at that point, I think that the spread was almost 60 points. And I'm sorry, 5v4, it's just not going to happen. I don't care if you're. I mean, you could be a team full of scumps. I really don't think you're going to beat a team of a 5-man team so easily. So,
I mean, it's upsetting, man, because even in map 4 too, I mean, they had rotated correctly. They had gotten all the time on P3. They get P4, and then once P4 happens, Kenny's out again.
yep.
OGLA is up 25, close to 30 points, which should have been right there. A restart, a end game, a something, because we ended up
Literally.
having to sit there the last 5 minutes watch them try 4v5. And honestly, you could tell like towards the tail end on like the last, P1, P2 that they just didn't fucking try
They
anymore.
didn't care.
Practically,
Yeah.
it's like they were just like, "Fuck it, map 5. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do now?"
Yeah, and then here comes fucking Bruce. And
Fucking
he,
Batman comes
oh
and
my,
saves the fucking day.
he does. He came in. He went 9-7, I believe, in the search and destroy. He was an absolute god with the sniper, and then rolled right back into bed. Wiped the
Yeah.
crusties out of his eyes. Did a 100K one and done. Then rolled his ass back into bed and see you in
Mhm.
Cold War.
Pretty much, man. I mean, he literally the last round got a 3K with the sniper, and then just fucking said, "All right,
Yeah.
guys. I mean,
Peace.
thanks for letting me play. Like, I'm going back to bed. Like, I'll see ya. Good luck."
Make
I
sure you tune
mean,
into the stream. I'll be live tonight playing some
yeah, I'll be
BO4
live tonight playing
wagers.
some BO4, World War II, BO3, you name it. I'm fucking playing it type shit, dude. I mean,
Anything but Modern Warfare, right? My
yeah,
God.
anything but this shit ass game.
Oh my. So now we're gonna. I mean, Optic Gaming. Obviously, even. I mean, the team is resilient. Losing Kenny twice, knowing that they should have won 3-0, and still coming out with a cold dashy to win it in Game 5 is impressive. And after I saw that, dude, I got a little nervous. I know Scott liked to poke a little bit and oh, Optic Gaming, but it was like, yo, yo, Optic is
Yeah.
not fucking around right now. They came to play. They came to win. It doesn't matter if they have 4 or 5. Like they're going to finish out the series. So
I mean, yeah, their head game going into that second and third map on that series, like that's something a lot of people can do. I mean, you
yeah,
literally have your teammate get booted, and you're fucking 4v5, you lose map 1, and a lot of people will start losing full. I mean,
yeah,
and rightfully so. Like, you're pissed. You didn't have a chance in that game.
yep.
But then for them to come back, win that second search, win that dom, and then have same thing happen in the next hard point. At that point, you're like, what the fuck is happening? You go into map 5, like you said, with somebody who hasn't played in like almost 2 months when it comes to scrimming or anything like that. Guy comes in with a sniper. Luckily, it was Piccadilly too, might I add. Like, Piccadilly was a great map for him to
Yeah,
be really thrown into when it came to having a sniper out.
that was very lucky for them. Yeah, absolutely.
But I
Well,
mean, they fucking pushed through and they did it. They won. I mean,
yep. So I guess this is going to be fun to talk about because now we're going to say, well, what went wrong and where do they go now with the LA Gorillas? Because wow, from the beginning, that team was doomed. Ask any analyst. I've been watching all of the CDL analysts. I've been following them up on all these tweets about every team, all these YouTube videos. What's the I keep contesting the point.
hmm
I've been watching that occasionally, and shit, man, it just lag they had some issues. So as like I said, I mean, where do we even begin? Team was doomed from the start. It had such an eclectic group of Call of Duty pros that it just seemed like it was off. The season started with Aches, Lacefield, Saints, Aqua, and Decimate. On paper,
not a bad roster.
not bad.
Not a bad one at all.
Not horrible, but not bad. I mean, not good, but not horrible.
Mhm.
So you got to watch this team play. You got to watch them play twice. You got to watch them play at launch weekend and in London, where their placements were yes in the bottom, but they were also sans one placement by this new team. Those were the two best finishes that they had. 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th. They placed in the money during the Minnesota home series, which is the one outlier in June. But across the board, this team finished in last place, even with roster changes. I mean, we saw Spart come in for Saints, and then Spart get sat, and we saw Vivid and who's the other one? I keep forgetting.
No, it was Vivid and Spark.
Well, it's Vivid,
Oh
Spart,
yeah,
and
Blast.
and
It was those
Blast. There we
three
go.
at one time. Yep.
Yep, and then Aches and Lacefield and Saints all got the 1-2 kazoo. Patty P, the dude's a champion. I know that he surrounds himself with better players, for champs and everything like that, but champs is a different beast, man. Age and experience, Nameless said it best. Age and experience is just, it's bar none. Gone are the days where you have to be a young superstar. It's the age, it's the I've been here before. I know what I'm doing. So I feel like, yo, you gotta fix this roster or you are going to have the same issues all over again. So
I mean, as far as it goes, I mean, Blast had not a terrible season. Saints didn't have an absolutely abysmal season. Same for Decimate. Aqua didn't have a bad season either. Them as players had decent seasons, but they just couldn't come together to bring together a winning roster or any team. I mean, like you said, their one shining moment was beating Huntsman to break it to like top 4.
yeah,
And ever since then, it hadn't been much of anything. I mean, that was like their one shining moment. They beat the Huntsman, surprised everybody, and then nothing.
yeah,
After that, they fell entirely flat.
yep. So I mean, do we see Aches play again at all next year? I mean, the guy played 2 tournaments this in Modern Warfare, and then I'm out. I mean, you see his Twitter; he doesn't talk about Call of Duty almost ever. So, is that the end of Patty P?
As far as playing, I think it's gonna be the end for him, man. I think as far as him playing professionally, I don't think he gets put on a roster unless he gets affiliated with somebody who is taking a chance on him to either be a coach or to be like a veteran leader. And I mean, like, I say veteran twice because I mean it in the sense of the other 4 people who are going to be on his team are going to have to hard carry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he can be on the map and he can do some damage, but you have to put him in the specific role, and the game has to be able to, be comfortable with somebody not doing that well every single game practically. Like he got top 24 at, Challenger Champs or Challenger, whatever you want to call it, and he won one round and then lost 2. I mean, still got more money than anybody on LAG did for their playoffs, which is hilarious to me. And even it being like 2K or something like that, he still won money, and that is just incredible. I mean, as far as LAG, man, I have no fucking clue what they're gonna do, but they gotta fix you. They gotta fix their shit.
They got to do something because right now, being a team of that caliber with no real superstar players is, I don't know, man. It's rough. But that'll do it for the losers round. The first part of the losers round here. I want to say, let's go. PMax is here. Norcia, Zides, and Nighthawk. How you doing, Beeb? Thanks guys for coming into the podcast. If you guys have any questions, remember, any of the viewers, if you have questions, ask them. Ask.
Or any input at all. I mean, drop some input in what we're talking about. Whatever.
Yeah, tell us that we're wrong. Tell us that you agree. We want to hear everything. We appreciate the views, but ask some questions. Tell us why we're wrong. We love to talk about this kind of stuff. So, we're gonna be that's the end of the first round of losers play, which are the one and dones, which is we saw lag and we saw Seattle go home. So for me, I felt kind of sad watching Seattle go home, but the Gorillas, I was like,
not really surprised.
Yeah,
I expected.
Yeah, exactly. I was just, okay, all right, whatever. So we're gonna move into winners round 1, and we're gonna look at London versus Toronto. And I had 3-1 Toronto. Cap had 3-2, and the actual was 3-1. So this is my first actual win. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Holy. So it definitely wasn't from a lack of effort on London's part. And after seeing the way that London played this game, I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, Nighthawk. I'll get to that right after this one because I like that question a lot because I have an idea where he's gonna go. But the London Toronto series, with London, after seeing that, I don't know, man. Roth came into the stream, he came into the podcast last time, and he asked, is London going to make a run? And at the time, I said no. I know what I said. I said no. I said no. I don't think so. I think this team is momentum based, and I think that it's going to take quite a lot for them to regain. And holy crap, was I wrong? I'm glad, man. I love being proven wrong. They got their shit handed to them by Toronto. Um, the London won the S&D 6-2. But let's be real here. London's really good at search and destroy. That's 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 kind of like their bread and butter when it comes down to facing teams. If you're gonna play London and search, well, be prepared for a battle because they're coming out hot and they're coming out really hard. Head to head though, Toronto was the pick. That's why I had Toronto. That's why you had Toronto. They're coming off that huge Toronto home series victory after beating Atlanta FaZe in 5 games. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think, and even at the time, I know that it's like, oh, well, you could say it now, but I didn't think that Toronto was gonna make a big run for it anyway.
Truthfully, when it came to this, I definitely expected them to go to Game 5, and a little fucking kicker there to go or to keep it the 4 maps, so you'd still be right. Was the fact that Zero ends up lacking out of map 4,
Yep.
and ends up giving Toronto the win. They win the series. They are on to winners round 2.
Yeah,
I would have loved for London to win that series, honestly, and in place of Toronto. But I feel like if that were to happen, then I feel like Florida probably ends up winning that next round, which we'll get to later, obviously. But London has proved me wrong. I won't lie. Once they made it to losers bracket, they
yeah,
started a little bit of a fucking run. They ran through teams, kept it
yeah,
close, but they ran through fucking teams, and they proved us both wrong, I think.
absolutely. Yeah, because I told Roth, I said I really didn't see London. I'm not finishing last or even 10th, but definitely not being in the top 4 against the Huntsmen for a chance to go to the grand finals. That's for sure. Well, actually, no, it's one more winners round, and then it would be grand finals, correct?
Yeah.
Because the winner of the Atlanta Dallas series goes directly to the grand finals, and then the winner of the Chicago London series will play Atlanta. Winner of that will go to face Dallas. Imagine Dallas winning. Oh, I'm not even gonna get to that point yet. My God.
But we'll get there.
Well, we will get there. Don't you worry.
We
I've
will
got
get
some.
there.
I got some choice words for. Okay. Yeah. So Nighthawk, what it do, baby? This man says, "Who do you think Dashy will be traded to?" I mean,
I think my first comment, I'm gonna fucking kind of open this up here because I think
yeah,
this is
yeah.
where it gets interesting for sure. Dashi, if he gets traded, does not get traded alone. He and TJ will either get traded to a team together, or on one of the teams that potentially end up opening up for next season, going into Cold War. They build around them. They build around TJ and Dashi, that duo who have been pretty well put together since BO4 for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I see them being the next big 2 that people would build around when it comes to a starting 5 on like a new roster, more so than even being put on another roster, for sure.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I didn't even think about it like that. The first thought that I had was Huntsman. I know that sounds weird, but so many times we have seen analysts talk about the clicks, T2P and the Twins, and it's not. Let me before I piss off Huntsman's fans, because I'm a Huntsman fan myself and I love Envoy. He was an MVP candidate for a reason, but there are clicks within this team, and I kind of feel like he might be the odd man out, and so if he were to be traded solo, I mean, the Tej point is something that's hard to argue because they are kind of a duo. And when a new game starts, if they are going to go anywhere, they might go together, which is now making me kind of change my mind. But Joe said, I thought London was a sleeper. They won't blow teams out, but they definitely will win some games. Well,
I kind of agree with that. I mean, they're due to win some games in a series. They definitely wouldn't get shut out, in my opinion. They're good to win a couple games, keep it interesting. Got to build around Dashi. I knew that wasn't going to work out in OGLA when I saw Slash was on the team.
yeah.
On paper, it could have worked. It could have worked, and then Dashi just didn't for whatever reason it was, like the Barracks episode with Scump and Teep came out today, and then they kind of spoke on that a little bit, and Scump kind of thought it may have led towards him being lazy again, not being on time, not doing what he's supposed to do, kind of goofing off a little bit and stuff like that. But as far as your point on the Huntsman, I don't fully believe that's true. Especially after watching the Barracks. Actually, I kind of go back to that a little bit. Teep ended up kind of bringing up like, so like, how did this team necessarily kind of form, and like, how has it been going since you guys started? And while there is T2P and the Twins, I still think Envoy is like the perfect fifth man for them. For being as young as he is, he has a great mind. Works well with RCDs, and they kind of go back and forth and stuff like that when it comes to arguments and stuff like that, and when it comes to progressing this team and making it better than it already is, obviously on paper. I think he's like the perfect fifth man. I honestly feel like that team would fall apart a hell of a lot quicker. Dude, I don't know necessarily between who, but I think that team would fall apart if Envoy goes away. I think while they're, you have the two sides of the foundations that make up the house between T2P and the Twins, but I think the real foundation and the real reason that team is a glue and as solid as they are together in all three game modes and in and out of game, they have so much fun is because of Envoy. Being as young as he is and stuff like that, he's the youngest one on the team, but still has the biggest voice, arguably, between anybody on that team. And I honestly think, regardless of what happens, they're top four. There's no reason for them to change. Their vibes are still great. They have fun playing together in and out of game, playing Warzone, making content, whatever it is. They have a lot of fun. There's just no reason that they should break up.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. I mean, watching these boys off competitive play. I mean, when Alec and Preston doesn't play a whole lot off stream or even on stream, honestly, but when T2P and Alec play Warzone together, man, that is some comedy. So I do understand what you're saying with that, and it is making more sense. Yeah, for that future. Envoy teaming with Scump, having Scump kind of show him how to be successful will be the Huntsman's long run for the future. Okay, yeah,
I agree.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Eventually, man, the T2P, they're gonna get to a point where they're gonna retire, and I honestly think for the long run,
no, I don't want that.
I don't want it. No, I don't want it to happen either. I literally grew up watching those two form and become what they are now. And even Hex asked like Scump, bro, how much? What do you got left? Because I probably got 3-4 years left of me, 4 or 5, whatever. And eventually, I think if this team sticks together and they still continue to find success and stay in the upper echelon of these competitive teams, as far as the CDL, I see the Twins and Envoy sticking together for the long run, and then finding two young guns potentially by the time they retire, or finding two well-established players to keep the Huntsman going.
Dashy
I mean,
and
there's.
TJ?
I think there may be a potential, but I think that team could be just way too big of a goof off team. But you never know because it's just obviously years down the line, total speculation. Whatever it is, but like they can grow up, they could not. It's kind of what it is. But I think just like Joe said, I mean, Envoy being kind of taking under the wing of fucking Scump, being as successful as he is, and such at a young age, kind of like Envoy is. Being 20, breaking out into the year when he became 19. I mean, he's. He kind of just in the same young bracket as Scump was whenever he started when he was 16 in BO1. He has a lot to learn from it, and
was that
I
10
think
years
you just
ago
can't go
now?
wrong. Next year it will be. It was 2011, so next year it will be. He was 16, and Scump will be like 25, 26 here eventually.
Where does time go? I remember standing in line at. Oh my gosh, man! I remember standing in line at 9 p.m. at GameStop, waiting for BO1 to come out, and texting my buddy Kenyon, who I used to play. Oh man, I used to play COD with him all the time, all the way up until almost to BO3, all that time. And I remember that was the first game that him and I like. I remember the first night we hopped on, bro. We played so long for just hours, just eyes vibrating. BO1 is great memories. I competed in BO1. Stop making me feel old.
Dude,
Joe.
Black Ops 1 was really one of my first games that like I didn't play much multiplayer, much anything like that, but when it came to playing zombies, dude, I'd go to my friend's house, play on PS3, we'd play zombies for just days on end, and me and my cousin would try and go for like high rounds and stuff like that, and all that. And just we had a lot of fucking fun with it, bro. I mean, it was just one of those games.
It's a great game. Just it was it was a totally different experience to be tossed back into uh, the past, basically.
Yeah.
Because before that, you had Modern Warfare, you had Modern Warfare 2, you had Modern Warfare 3, correct? If I'm not mistaken, didn't MW3?
No, it
No, no, no,
was
no.
after BO1. It was after BO1.
It was after BO1, but still,
Yep.
you had Modern Warfare
Wait.
2.
Yep.
Yeah, and sniping was pretty bad. Oh
Oh, it was
yeah,
terrible. It was
yeah.
so bad in it.
But Joe,
Like
is it's
devs purposely made it that way, so you
yeah, but
couldn't quick scope and shit.
but is well, then what's Modern Warfare's excuse?
They just fucking suck. I don't know. They hate us clearly.
Esports took the fun out of competitive Call of Duty. Okay, we're gonna talk about that one too.
Yeah,
um,
don't worry. We'll definitely reach that.
yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I've seen Nade Shot. I see Hex. I see a lot of people talking about, is Scump just? I mean, that's the flip side of this that I'm trying to bring up is how long is he gonna be a competitive player before he becomes a streamer? Because I mean, I'm fairly certain that Courage even said it as well that he's
He's
known.
lost so much fucking money.
Yeah, that he has missed out on the opportunity to have so much money, so many sponsorships, so many different things because he's in the CDL. Because of conflicting interest, he can't have those sponsors and things like that, which makes sense. I understand that. You can't have, you can't be sponsored by G
Yeah.
Fuel and then your team sponsored by Game Fuel.
Yeah, you
Like,
can't. You can't have it all. But he's choosing to play right now, and I think that's rightfully so by him, man. I think honestly, streaming and whatever it is going to always be there for him because he has that great personality that's gotten so many people a fan of him.
yeah.
He's literally one of the funniest people like in esports. Period.
I am, and by no means was I an Optic fan, as you can so clearly tell. I love E United. I have loved them since BO3 when they were crap then, and I loved them during World War II, during all that heartbreak, and during BO4, during that absolute gutting. And then I was in Anaheim, and I was at Champs, and that was something different. But I will tell you that I'm not an Optic fan, but I am a huge Scump fan. And that guy, by himself, he's his own personality. He is his own. I mean, he's Scump.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's T2P. Yeah, he helped build the Optic dynasty, but he's Scump, and he's obviously showing again that on a team that's not Optic, when he's on the Huntsman, that he can still be that entertaining, that fiery, explosive player. I mean, bro, you saw how many beeps did we listen to after they won the series
Oh,
against
dude,
Optic?
I was gonna mention that, dude. I forgot to retweet it earlier today, but when I saw that, I was like, prayers to that fucking editor. That guy had such a hard task.
Beep 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 beep
Imagine
beep
had
beep.
to slow down. It was literally continuously had him to press the button beep 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 beep
He's
beep beep beep
just
beep.
holding it
Every
down.
other word. Every other word. Like you might as well over the entire thing should have just said beep. The
Oh,
entire like wavelength of it just should have just been fucking beep.
that
And
I.
that's just crazy.
Oh, we were watching that. That was so great. I had so much fun watching that. Nighthawk,
The
yeah,
end of that was super cool.
but he is worth the wait if I'm a sponsor.
I
Oh,
agree. 100%.
oh yeah.
Dude, you will wait until the end of time to have Scump as one of your people you're going to sponsor. 100%.
I can't imagine. I can't even begin to think about how many people are waiting for him to stop playing competitive Call of Duty. And on top of that, I mean, how many offers is this guy going to get? Where are we going to see his stream? His streams pop off and he's not even a streamer. He's a competitive Call of Duty player who streams in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
But his streams, he's playing Warzone, he's playing with Formal, he's playing with Alec, he's playing with a bunch of people. He's showing that he has that, obviously, that he has that gravitas, them big cojones for doing everything and doing it damn good. He is going to be extremely successful after his Call of Duty career. Even if he chooses not to be in Call of Duty anymore, regardless. Oh, I don't want to be a coach, or I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that. And if he was a streamer, wow.
He has options, man.
Yeah, the thoughts of that are just mind blowing to me. So,
that's something we'll definitely have to reach on a different podcast as well.
yeah,
Just future for people.
Yeah, I'm more than happy. I mean, listen, we're going to be talking about everything Call of Duty. We're going to be talking about sport. We're going to get some sports, some in real life sports here: baseball, basketball, football, hockey. Well, when football comes back, we're going to get to the nitty gritty of real sports as well. But we're going to be talking a lot about COD. We're going to be talking a lot about the personalities and the people within it. And so, if you guys have questions regarding specific talent, let us know because we're going to be talking about that. You better believe sports with Buzz Guy. What do you call
Oh,
that?
hell yeah, bro.
Ball sports with Buzz Guy. I should put out a poll. Should we do ball sports with Buzz Guy? A segment called Ball Sports with Buzz Guy. Oh my.
Wow, we jumped off the absolute wagon
Yeah.
when it
Wow.
came to doing shit, man. We gotta
That's fun though. I
form
love
ourselves.
that.
I agree, man. I like that we can do that.
Man,
It's
I was like-
absolutely very, very cool that we can do that.
That was like 20 minutes of being off topic, talking about
Yeah.
more. Oh man, that's fun. Whew. Okay, let's keep it going here. Okay. Oh, there's
Like
Scott.
Rob.
There's Scott. Yeah, baby. What it do,
There he
baby?
There he is.
Balls and pucks with Buzz the fuck. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I said, get over it. You know, Scott, I don't know if you were in here for the beginning, but we were saying that you joking and being like, oh, Optic's going to win. And, we're like, yeah, I'm sure they are.
Oh.
And then
oh.
we were talking about the absolute resilience level that Optic showed against
LAG.
Thank you. Against LAG when Kenny got booted twice and they had to bring in Dashy Cold wiping boogs out of his eyes. That was a scary Optic team. That's why I liked having that debate with you. Online or not, right?
Online or not?
I love it. I can't. Hey, man, Scott, you're gonna love the conversation that we had about LA and what the roster is gonna be looking like. Big trust. Bow down to your king, scump. Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna get into the second match here. Now we're back on track. We're gonna get into the second match of winners round one, which was New York Subliners versus Minnesota. For some reason, I thought it was going to be 3-2. I thought it was going to be 5 games just because I thought that Minnesota was going to be I thought they're going to put up more of a fight. But they didn't. And you nailed it right on the head. You said 3-1 New York, and that's exactly what it was. Now, the series is closer than what the 3-1 says. Absolutely. 250 to 248 in game 4. The only way you can get closer to that is 250 to 249.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. And at the end of the day, the slaying ability of the New York Subliners it was too much for Minnesota. You had 4 members throughout that series, that 4-game series. You had 4 members with above a 1.0 and 3 of them with above a 1.1. These guys came out here and they were pulling their triggers and wiping the fucking floor with these guys. They came out to play.
It made it kind of sad, dude. I mean, honestly, you think Minnesota minus GodRx, while still being a decent roster, should at least put up a little bit of more of a fight when it comes to New York Subliners. And the prediction says, I was right. I know I picked 3-1, and honestly, I kind of went for total fucking guesses, on most of these series, but I feel like this one was one of the ones that I was like, yeah, this makes the most sense, truthfully. S&D being a weak point, like you pointed out in your statement, being a weak point for New York Subliners, you think, all right, yeah, they're probably gonna fucking leave it out on this one, not gonna put up much of a fight and stuff like that.
Yep.
But Respawn Minnesota is just outclassed.
And that's
Minnesota does not keep up. Not against players like Attach, Zuma. They were just going off. Of course, Mac, obviously doing his fucking thing, man. He was doing his shit. He was on it.
Again, you got Zuma with a 1.14, Attach with a 1.14, Accuracy with a 1.17. Boy, Accuracy shut my mouth up. Holy crap, Lamar came to play. Good for you, Lamar. Mac 1.01, and even Temp. You can't even discredit Temp. Okay, Temp didn't have a 1.0, he had a 0.97. But his plus minus throughout all 4 games was a -2. He's winning his engagements. Yeah, he wasn't winning all of them, but he was winning 97% of them.
Yeah.
It's
And honestly, having a .97 being your weakest KD to win out of the series, incredible. It's a
yeah.
hell of a thing.
Yeah, if your weakest performing player is a .97 and it happens to be Donnie Temp, I think you guys are going to be okay. I think you guys are going
Yeah.
to be okay. The lowest performing player for that series, I think I'm going to blow your mind clear out of your skull. Alex, bro. He had a negative 21 difference between all four maps. That the closest person to him was Silly at -8. He was literally out there on his own in terms of stats. I just I don't know. Alex is that guy that I didn't say he was an X factor. I think I said that who did I say was? Oh, that's right. I said Exceed was going to be the X factor. And he wasn't. I mean, Exceed had
Not in that series.
not
at
in
least.
not in that series. The X factor here was unfortunately Alex, and it was the opposite way. I'm not saying that he costed his team and he was the reason they lost, but a better performance out of Alex, I don't think we see a 3-1. I'm curious
I'm
now.
sorry.
There's something about you two. Mind taking the hat off? Oh, I mean,
What do you think, man?
my hair is crazy trash. I have super long hair. That's why I put my hat on. I always keep my hat on just because my hair goes right into my eyes every time. I haven't had a haircut since January 28th of 2020. So we're 3 days away from being almost 9 or 8 months since I've had a haircut. So it's been pretty rough.
It's unfucking believable.
You know that, and I also wear a hat because a long time ago I bleached my hair and my hair was blonde, and now it's not. it's grown out.
Oh,
So
weird.
yeah, trash. Oh
Same.
please, you look fine. Oh, thank you. Minnesota looked like they didn't know what they were doing during that series. Holy. I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh.
I mean, you're not Joe, but you're not wrong, Joe. They were kind of all over. They here and there and here and there and not being there for trades and not getting not picking up the time in the hard point. It's just your faces at least are rather similar. That you got to grow a little bit more facial hair. Do we
It's
have
the beard and the fucking glasses, man.
I mean, we're pretty. I mean,
It's
we're
pretty
pretty.
fucking.
I mean, we're pretty good looking guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe says, "Fuck, I'll say it." Those
sideburns are wrong. Oh fuck.
Wait. Hold on. My sideburns are not. What are you talking about? What? You know what, Norcia? You're gonna lose ball guys. You're gonna lose ball sports with Buzz Guy here. I'm gonna name it Buzz Sports with Ball Guy if you don't knock it off. Oh my. Joe says, hate to see it. Yeah, you really do, man. You hate to see it. Oh my. Okay, we're gonna get into a match that both Cap and I called correctly, but I don't think that we wanted it to be this way.
No.
But we both knew that it was gonna happen. I said facial hair, not cheek hair. Oh, well, here's the thing. This is well, actually, I shaved all this, but I don't grow anything up here. Unfortunately, it's all neck.
That's tough.
Yeah, you do. You grow a wonderful beard, sir. Mine is not that.
Yep.
Mine's not
now
that
it has
connected.
to go away
Why?
because I got a job with animal control, and since it's a government job, I have to be clean shaven except for a mustache.
You better keep that stash.
I will after I take my picture.
No. Wait, are you taking the picture with the beard?
No, I have to clean shave because I meet the sheriff on Monday. So.
Hey, well, you need to keep the stash, my guy.
No, I'm not gonna get memed.
Look, you even have a gap in your stash like I do. Look at this. Oh my. Oh, are we long lost brothers? What the? What the fuck?
Which book?
What the fuck? What the fuck? Get roasted, Bat. It's way too easy to rattle your cage. Rock the stash like me. We rock the stash, baby. I love my stash. I had a freaking curly Q. Oh, we're getting off topic again. Time for the podcast subject to change in a matter of seconds. Power Grid podcast featuring Capshotz, episode 2, facial hair. Look at Joe. Joe, he's doing it again.
I told you Joe would do it. I told you Joe would do it, bro.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
All right, so again, we're going into the winners round, so these are going to go a little bit quicker because these teams, at this time that we're going over them, they're not out of the tournament, so we're not hitting it with the where they go from here now stuff. So we're gonna get to that baby face Cap. All right, Chicago and New York winners round 2. Both Cap and I said 3-2 Chicago, and yeah, that's what it turned out to be. And like I said in my notes here, when I'm right, man, I'm right. I said it was going to be close, and besides a blowout in Game 1 where New York took the hard point 250 to 167, was that on Gunrunner? No, what was that?
It was Ramaza.
Ramaza. Oh my God, it was Ramaza. Yeah, that's right. Because I was in Discord saying who picked Ramaza because the S&D was Ramaza too, and I'm surprised I have hair. You couldn't get any closer. The first search and destroy was 6-5. The domination was 149 to 145. And the other hard point was 250 to 231. I mean, as a Huntsman fan, I'm sitting back here watching this game, and I'm just like, dude, you guys, you got to step it up. New York is coming off a win. New York is coming off of absolutely frying Minnesota. You guys have got to wake up. And like I said in the predictions, I said that, Chicago's as I said, it was 3-2 because Chicago is going to be its first game. And New York is coming off a big win. I predicted the win, so did Cap, and they did. And they came out swinging. Besides the Optics series, I don't think I've ever sweat that much. And I'm not even playing, bro. I'm sitting on my couch. It's insane. We saw how New York played in the first game of the playoffs. I'm sorry, not in the first game of the playoffs. I apologize. We saw how they played at their home series against Chicago, and they handed Chicago their ass on a silver platter.
In the second series, when it came to grand finals, I mean, when it came to just the winners round 2 match, I believe in that home series, Chicago swept them. It was 3-0. Next 3 maps come up, they 3-0 them.
Yeah,
it was literally the most backward shit ever. It didn't make sense. You think going into that Sunday, like, oh, dude, Chicago should win this, no problem, and then they just got surprised. They were surprised, and nothing was going their way, and NYSL ended up fucking making that home series. Yeah. When it came to that map 5, it was looking a little rough. You're not gonna lie, for the side of Chicago. But then Chicago ended up, I believe, like kind of destroying them in that map 5, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was like 6-2 or something like that, like 6-3.
Yeah,
I don't believe it was that close.
6-2. Yeah, it
was not close.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the first hard point and the second S&D were not close. 6-2 Chicago for the second S&D, 250 to 167 in favor of New York for the first hard point. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was not close, man. I mean, we both predicted it correctly. I mean, a series between two teams like that who are so similar, but in a lot of ways are so different. It showed, and it was a fun match, man. It was a very stressful match. And map 5 came around, and then Huntsman was just having their way with New York, man. It was bad. It was not close rounds for most of the game.
I'll tell you what, man, it was really nice because having to listen to Jamal give it to me just nonstop during that New York home series in Discord that killed me, bro.
Oh yeah, that was him giving it to me, you, Joe. I mean, you fucking.
It was everybody. He's yeah.
It was bad.
I'm like, oh man, here we go. We're never gonna live this down.
We deserved it though.
I mean,
yeah. After first map, Huntsman was just kind of smacking them in the finals, and then they came back. They choked that map, and we're like, well, that's interesting.
They got hosed down.
How the fuck does that happen?
Yeah, they got hosed down. It was bad. So that put Chicago into the next winners round and knocked New York out of the winners bracket and into the losers bracket, which we will get to in a second. But we're going to still continue on with the last game of winners round 2, and that was Florida and Toronto. And that could have been, that could have gone anyway. Like we said before, if London had beaten Toronto, it would have been London and Florida in this final instead. And I don't think that we would have picked the way that we did. Well, you still picked Florida, But did you
I
mean
did, man.
you did?
I
Yeah.
picked Florida just based off of how they've been playing. I figured, they kind of been struggling a little bit like the past couple home series and kind of when it came to scrims and everything like that towards the end. Um, they weren't playing that well, but I figured, it's a couple weeks before champs between champs weekend,
Mhm.
playoffs, whatever you want to call it. They're gonna fix it, right? You kind of assume what a team that was so fucking good during online since the break of online league.
Yep.
You think, yeah, that makes sense. They're probably gonna do really well. Um, then they fell flat, man. I had Florida winning 3-0, and I was shook when I saw the ending of that match. I was confused, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I mean, every single fucking game was so incredibly fucking close. I mean, the farthest game was literally the first map when Toronto won 250-232. Like that insane fucking series. I mean, obviously, search Florida bread and butter. Has
I
to be
mean,
bread and butter,
yeah.
right? I mean, you fucking have players like Havoc on your team, Awakening. You have people that are known in the S&D community to fucking play well. Yeah, they kept up with that notion. They played well in search, and then besides that, I mean, they played very, very, very close, very, very fucking close in every other map, especially. Like, I mean, the last map that Toronto won was literally 250-249. Literally, like fucking Bad said, it does not get closer than that. As he closes, you
Yeah.
can fucking be in hardpoint, man.
This is, I mean, I wanted to bring up a very interesting point here. Besides the fact that all four games were insanely close, 18 points in the first hard point, 1 point difference in the second hard point, 2 rounds in the search, and 5 points in the dom. But if you look at the stats, I know we talk a lot about KD, especially I do, but I'm gonna point something out that's gonna blow a lot of people's minds. Okay, Toronto won that series. So originally I had, just so you guys know, I had Toronto winning 3-2. Cap had Florida 3-0. The actual was 3-1, and Florida outslayed Toronto by 56 kills through those 4 rounds. 56. 4 members of Toronto had a negative KD difference, the plus minus, in their stat line for that series. And yet, Toronto still won, which goes to prove that if you play the map correctly and you rotate and you get the important kills. Yeah, you can get a lot of kills off of rotation. Absolutely, you can get a ton of kills off of rotation. But the point is that Toronto got outslayed and they still won. If they wouldn't have been outslayed, do we see something as close as this 4-game series? Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
But the fact that Toronto gets outslayed by 56 kills and still manages to walk away with a 3-1 win, I mean, impressive. Incredibly impressive on Toronto's part. Sad to see Florida go because Awakening and well, not go, but move to the losers round. Awakening and Pharaoh were, oh man, I mean, they made that team scary. And then I think everybody caught on to their charade, and that's basically when it was over. After they won that first event, it felt like everybody caught up to them. And before that, nobody was near them, bro. They were in a league of their own. It was Florida, and then it was everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, it was Awakening went in there, and he had like a simp style debut. Thank you, a debut, like when
Yeah.
Simp played in London.
100%.
So it was interesting. It was definitely interesting to see such a close series at 3-1. Oh yeah, we went 3-1. But I mean, you break down that stat line, and things start getting really spicy really quick. So, we're gonna move on now to losers round 2, and it's gonna get a little bit back and forth here because it is. It's how it is. So, give me 1 sec as I bring up one more thing here. I need this one right here. Perfect. Okay. So as we're looking at Legion, the losers round 2, and we saw Paris and London, and again, I was wrong. This is the first time. It took till the second losers round. What is that? The last game in the losers round, round 2, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, it took me to the second. Oh man, that pissed me off. I said 3-2 Paris. For some reason, I was against London in this whole tournament, and I don't understand why. I don't know what was going through my mind, but I stick to my predictions, and I said that Toronto was going to wipe the floor. I'm sorry, that Paris was going to wipe the floor with them, and they didn't. I said 3-2. Cap said 3-1 London, and I said 3-2 Paris, and it was actually 3-1 London. Cap nailed it right on the head. So go ahead, my guy.
Honestly, in this series going into it, like you said, they're a huge fucking momentum based team. I mean, they need the fire and they need those certain players to go off. And in that series, everything went right for them. Legion just they looked lost when it came to playing this team, especially after the first map. They did not seem to know what the fuck was supposed to happen on the map. They I don't know how I got that as correct as I did. I'll be honest with you. You think a series between Ravens and Paris would be a little bit closer than that, especially with how Paris beat Seattle like they did,
Yeah.
and that was not the case whatsoever. Ravens just simply came out and fucking destroyed
Yeah.
that team.
I mean, they're like, all right, well, you guys want to play, then we'll play a game. And they came out and they I mean, good for them. They're as you guys can see, they're moving on up. They had one more actually. I mean, technically they had two more wins. Not technically, they did have two more wins that will reach here in a little bit. But yeah, London's not messing around, and they have quite the losers bracket run. Um, what are we looking at here? We're looking at let's see. Yeah, I mean we're looking at London and Toronto facing off against each other in winners round one, and London got smacked, like we said. They got smacked 3-1, and then they get into losers bracket and they suddenly turn it on. They're ready to play, and I mean now they're top four. So the question stands now. What went wrong with Paris and where do they go now? With Paris, I mean there are so many things that could have been changed within this organization for it to become a successful team because they were right there. They really were. At the beginning of the season, even I thought, oh, Paris kind of nasty. Dens, fucking Kismet, Luca, Shocks, and Zed. I mean, yeah, all right, I get it. And then you got Phantoms and Brezzy on the bench, and I was like, Brezzy had a pretty decent BO4 year, and Phantoms playing in Challengers and winning with FaZe. I mean, and then he played with UYU, if I'm not mistaken.
He played with UIU. Ended up on EG at the end of the year for champs. He started with, I mean, this dates all the way back to World War II. Even he was on a team that ended up beating Optic in the pools of one of the last events in World War II. He was on that team, and once that happened, people were like, "Oh shit, this kid might be the real deal." I specifically remember, I don't remember exactly what team he was on, but I do remember Flak Tower CTF. Kid takes up an SCG and it was absolutely having his fucking way with four great Call of Duty players. It was something I didn't expect, and I was like, "What is happening?" Like, Optic is in this bad of a rut where, like, this young kid comes out of fucking, um, AM bracket and just makes pools and actually kind of has his fucking way with
Yeah.
for the arguably great Call of Duty players.
Mm-hmm.
Scump, fucking Crim, Octane, Methods, just absolutely has his fucking way with them. And I mean, honestly, him sitting on the bench all year was very surprising to me. Like they didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, I mean, in the world of Call of Duty, when it switched from being a LAN to online league, obviously because of COVID, there was a lot of teams that made changes. I mean, a lot of people adapted or tried to adapt to this online meta. Paris did not make a move. I understand Atlanta and Dallas didn't make a move, and I know that some people would be like, "Oh, well, they didn't make a move." Okay, you're 100% correct, but it's Atlanta and Dallas. They've been top 3 all year. I think Dallas fell out of top 4 one single time, and it was at the extreme beginning of the season or something like that. Like they have been top 4 all year. Atlanta has been number 1 or number 2 all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Paris was not. And so I feel like Paris, they're not going to win. They weren't going to win champs, but maybe make a better run. I mean, you don't try Brezzy, you don't try Phantoms. I don't know who you would pull out per se because Kismet's kind of the leader on that team. I think he's the captain of the team if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be kind of difficult to sit the captain. And it's not like Kismet was playing poorly, but the team was not meshing. They weren't getting those clutch wins. They weren't forming together as that one coherent team to take that dub. They were almost there, but I feel like if they would have made one change, just one change, something could have changed within that team's standings.
Honestly, um, Paris didn't change. Just like Joe said, Paris just didn't change anything up. Every team made changes, and Paris didn't do anything and refused to switch anything up. And I agree. Same thing, you were kind of saying. And the problem with that team is like, who do you switch out? I mean, you have 5 players who can have really great series, but the problem with them is you have 5 players who can also be very bad in a series and cost you that in that ultimate series. Kismet can have his really great series. He can have his really average series. Dens, I think, was probably the best player overall this year for them. He
I
had,
agree with
and
that.
he also, as an AR player, has an easier job as far as like, KD wise and like stats and stuff that shows on screen more than anything else. But Dens is also a great player, all around, all year round, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was a player that showed up when it kind of mattered, and he in clutch situations or what have you, he was just there. As far as everybody else, people like Luca and stuff like that, like Luca, Kismet, these Zed, all these other fucking people on that team, yeah, it'd be easy to just switch out this person, that person, see if it works, but for a team that is inconsistent in that, it's like, well, you could do that, but like, what happens once you do? I mean, is it really going to work? Because I still think even in the case of Phantoms and Brezzy, I think it's still the same thing. They have really off series and they have pretty good series where they're going to make a great difference. So it's like, I mean, what that roster, you think, yeah, pretty good players, but at the same time, when they have bad series, they have really bad series. So
Yep.
it's like, well, what the fuck do you do? I mean,
Yeah, you saw teams like Surge and Optic have one bad home series and then they made changes, is what Joe said, and that's true. I mean, you saw Optic have a wonderful home series and then they fired Pac-Man, and then
they
benched
fired Pac-Man, and the next event, yeah,
yeah,
they
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 benched
benched
Chino.
Chino and Dashi.
I
I
was
mean,
like, what? I, but why though? What? That was your best placing yet. I know that they placed much higher in this. I understand in champs they placed higher, but throughout the year, letting Pac-Man go and then all of a sudden benching Chino after their best performance, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like I think you're right. I think you're right. Paris had kind of trapped. What are they going to do here? They're going to play Phantoms. They're going to play Brezzy, or do they go after a free agent or an AM? And they did nothing, and it proved. And so now they got sent home. So kind of sucks to see Paris go home like that, especially when you're thinking, well, couldn't they have made a change? But yeah. So we're getting into the next round here, losers round 2. This next game, in my opinion, was a blowout. The stat line might say something different. Optic Gaming versus Minnesota. You had 250 to 244 in the hard point. And by the way, Optic 130, just in case anybody didn't know. 6 to 1 in the search and destroy, and 161 to 147 in the domination. Here we go. I am trying to find it. Wow. That's a big Lamau. I had Paris and Optic. Wow, I had Paris versus New York and Florida versus. No, we need losers round 2 predictions. There it is. Oh my goodness, there it is. Rocker versus Optic. A 3-1 victory as Minnesota is sent home just after 2 matches. I said a close match, but it will be the lead to the downfall of Minnesota. Optic advances to a date with Florida, which was not true.
Scott says Minnesota got smoked 100%. That series was
Yes,
not close.
yes, and that's what I'm saying is that 250 to 244, yeah, it looks close. 161 to 147, yeah, it looks close. But like we said before in the what was that, the Toronto Florida series where Toronto was outslayed by 56 kills.
Hmm.
I'm looking right here. Um, looking at the difference between 47 kills. Quick maths. Two members, I'm sorry, one member on Optic was negative in their plus minus, and it was Tej, and he was -2. His kill, he went 63 and 65 through 3 maps. On the other hand, again, Alex negative, Asim the worst performing player, Assault the only player that went positive, Silly -1, and then I'm going back again, man. I told you I was going to be hard on this kid because he was rifling off his mouth on Twitter. Exceed played like crap, bro. He did not play well this year. I'm sorry, this champs at all. I understand I'm not a Call of Duty pro. I get that. But I'm also looking at how these people perform and how much shit they talk online. And let me tell you, man, if you're going to run your mouth like that, you cannot get your shit handed to you on a silver platter 3-0 like that. And I'm not going to go over what the tweets said. You guys can go and look at them at your own discretion. But Kenny and Jiraza had choice words. We'll leave it at that. They had some choice words for Exceed after running his mouth about scrims. So Minnesota, another team. I mean, I don't know, man. Where do they go? I mean, what do you do here? You benched. I mean, I brought it up and I said it when we were doing the predictions. Is benching GodRx the right move for this team going into champs? And in my opinion, no. Is GodRx going to prevent a 3-0 and maybe and have Minnesota win 3-1? No, no, not at all. He's not the sole changing player on this team. But having somebody in that roster spot that has that experience, that has been there, that knows the ins and outs, that is a competitor, to switch him out with Exceed, to me it didn't make any sense. I wasn't understanding why at a time of champs why you would make such a bold move so quickly. So
Um, Honestly, man, when it comes to fucking Rocker this season on this off season, just like fucking Narcia asked, like, what changes do they make? Um, I honestly think going into this next game, GodRx is not going to want to play with this team anymore. He just gets benched and seemingly in a really harsh way. He was, very upset about it, and rightfully so. Whenever it came to him being benched, especially being benched for somebody who is so unproven, like Exceed, in my opinion. Uh,
yep,
like you said, he's not necessarily the difference maker, but in that search, I believe he could have been the difference maker. What do you call it? Like I had mentioned before, Rocker had the second most snipes, or the second, like top 3 in like snipes in search all year,
yeah,
and that's because of GodRx. GodRx was the sniper for that team, and he was the one that was opening the map up for them and most
yep,
of their searches and most of their rounds. Asim smokes tied in with GodRx's snipes open up the map. It gave them chances to win rounds, win maps, uh, fucking tie up the series, whatever it is. Pitching GodRx is one of the moves where if it works and they go super far, they look like geniuses. But if it goes south like it did, they look incredibly stupid. I think that's the case with pretty much any move that can be done in a lot of ways, and fucking pretty much everything, man. It's just the same as like making a play, making a bold play, making a out of the box play. I mean, if it works, you look like absolute geniuses. You look like, holy crap, I can't believe they did that. They're so insanely smart for that. And if it doesn't work, you look absolutely stupid. And in this case, you look like an idiot.
yeah.
Um,
That was, I mean, just to be so confident about making a move like that and then literally getting served. I mean, this S&D 6-1. I'm not saying that they would have won it, but 6-1. You got absolutely blown out. The casters were laughing after that game, legitimately laughing after that game. So again, Minnesota goes home. So wow, Where do we go from here? What does Minnesota do? I don't think they do. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think they need to make a whole lot of changes. This team was good. Uh, this team was exciting. This team was fiery. They were. I don't know, man. It was just Minnesota. This team that you're like, yeah, yeah, Minnesota, yeah. They came out and they came out swinging, and then halfway through the season, that was it, man. They're just like, I'm kind of done. Well, this guy's not playing that well, so
But some moves are necessary to make because the direction the team is going. I just feel like this one was Super Bowl and it didn't pay off. No, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like Chase brought up like in the first episode again. He was really the only one that you can really move when it comes out to working out roles and stuff like that. He was the guy.
Yeah.
You don't move Assault, like you said. He went positive in
Yeah.
a series.
Yeah.
He had a decent chance, and him being a great AR player like the way he was all year, you don't move him. You can't move him out of the way to make room for GodRx to be there and exceed. It's just hard to make a decision like that with a dude that was at one time considered a top 5 player in the game, possibly.
Yeah.
Dude, within the first couple months, the reason that Rocker was held so highly was because of GodRx's performance on LAN.
Yep.
Like, they struggled super hard whenever it came to, or I should say specifically, he struggled. He made it a lot tougher on that team because he wasn't as good as he was. And it really forced their hand.
Yeah, Bat and I were talking about the dynamic how dynamic GodRx is at sniping in S&D, and that just went completely away because they told him to grab some pine, and he was watching them get shit on picking splinters out of his ass.
100%, dude.
Get Norcia's got some.
That's a fucking good way to put it, dude.
Yeah, and is he sitting there? I mean, no, he's not sitting there wishing his team loses. That's stupid. I'm not going to say that, but
100%.
Is he sitting there going, I said, and a lot of people in chat last time, and it's totally fine. I love when people hop on me for making bold predictions like this. So, I mean, the more you hear it, keep on it. But I said that Asim was the one that needed to sit. I think that Minnesota's best player all season from January until champs was Assault. He was the player that was the most consistent during the switch from LAN to online. He was the most consistent player for that team online. And I think that he wasn't getting enough love. You get people like Silly and Alex in there, and all of a sudden they're like, Assault who? And Assault's been in the league forever. I mean, I'm fairly certain I was watching BO3 highlights the other night, and I saw his name pop up. I haven't been watching COD for very long. I got into it late. I know that sounds weird, but Assault is that guy. I still stick with Asim. It's too late now. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's whatever. But I don't know. Scott, especially with the MPI-5 nerf. Granted, it didn't change a whole lot, but why would you not take advantage of that if you can? Instead of sitting in AR for another sub player.
Well, the problem was Exceed is a flex player. That's why it was so difficult to sit a full-on sub player. Exceed can do the flex role, but him being a main sub would have been probably more of a fucking liability than anything. You don't sit down Alex, you don't sit down Silly because their experience. I'm not Alex's experience, but his consistent play, just the same as Assault all year, man. He's been playing pretty well all season, and obviously in the Toronto series, or the first series they played. I'm already forgetting who they played first.
Minnesota?
The New York series.
Yeah,
the New York series.
Yeah.
Like, he just got smacked around. Did not have a good series. It was bar none, like you said, a complete, almost waste of space, a waste of a fucking controller spot.
Should have kicked him offline or what?
It should, might as well. Fuck it. I mean,
basically playing 44.
Yeah, but putting 2 flex players along with 2 sub players and a Manior, that would make the fucking shit so difficult. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and at this point, it's all up in the air. What's gonna happen is what's gonna happen.
From my personal opinion, I see Exceed being removed from the roster. I see GodRx coming back on, and I don't see any other moves. I don't see how you could remove Alex. You're not removing Assault. You're definitely not removing Silly. And so that leaves Asim and Exceed. And I guess the only one that I could see leaving is Asim and them replacing Asim. But again, He's not a bad player. He's just not fitting on this particular roster. We saw how good he was last year with FaZe. He had some clutch moments. Him and Cell were gross. But I don't think Asim fits on this roster for them. I think if they bring back GodRx and they have one more player hop in there, not sure who yet. I don't know. I don't know the AMs that are popping up that are gonna, hop in there and hope for that spot. But it seems like they like their team. I'm telling you, man. I could see GodRx being put back in. The only change I see is Asim getting the 1-2 kazoo, and not in a bad way. He's just going to go to a different team that he can succeed on. Minnesota's just not the team that he can succeed on. I just want to reiterate, I'm not taking anything away from Asim. He's a damn good player. So, yeah. All right, well, now we're getting into some nitty gritty. Let me tell you, you want to talk about a heart attack? How about this winners round 4? That was FaZe versus Huntsman, and yeah, heartbreaking to see. Well, a great series. I'll put it that way. An amazing series. It went 5 games. I said, and I'm fairly certain. Cap, what did you say?
I believe we both said 3-2.
Yeah, I said. I mean, I'm a Huntsman fan, but I said 3-2 Atlanta, and as I'm watching the game, Susie's like, "Oh, but your prediction's gonna be right," and I was like, "Yeah, my prediction's gonna be right, but I don't want to be right on this one. I want to be wrong." And I saw it coming, and so did Cap. A great matchup. 250 to 177. Atlanta takes the hard point. 6-5 Chicago in an insane burrito round, which I got a burritos from. Thank you very much. 167 to 150 in favor of Atlanta for the Dom. 250 to 196 for the hard point in favor of Chicago, and a heartbreaker and 6-4 for Atlanta. Heartbreaker for Chicago fans is 6-4 Atlanta win. It was literally back and forth. It was 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2, and then that was it, man. You can't get any more back and forth than that. They literally split Surge and Destroys, and they split hard points, and they split them, I would say, pretty freaking evenly. 250 to 177, Atlanta won the first one, and 250 to 196, Chicago won the second one. The S&Ds were 6-5 and 6-4. I mean, it hurt. I'll tell you that much, man. It hurt being a Huntsman fan, knowing that you're going to go down the losers bracket. But, I honestly think it's for the better. I think that the Huntsmen needed to lose against Atlanta first. I know that they beat them before, but I think that they needed to lose to Atlanta first so they could get that loss under their belt and understand, yeah, we lost. That sucks. Let's do it again. And I think that, which we'll get into maybe some predictions. We'll see how far we get into this podcast, but we'll see what Huntsmen are going to do against London, but I think that that's going to be the matchup that was the one that they were looking for. Right now, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to continue to say it, and I'll say it next week, and I'll say it the week after, and I'll say it for every podcast that we ever talk about the Huntsmen. I love Preston. Prestini is one of my favorite COD players. I understand that he's not one of the best, but between him and Alec, I love them both. I love the twins. And unfortunately, the Huntsmen live and die by Preston. It's not by T2P. It's not by Envoy. It's not by Arcides. It's literally live and die by Preston.
I mean,
Man,
truthfully, dude, when I came into this, when we started talking about it and started forming opinions on what's gonna happen, I told you it's gonna be scum, man. Obviously, it was a heartbreaker. Preston didn't have a good day, and honestly, that's something you can account for why they didn't win. But every single respawn so far, every single search and destroy so far, Scump is there. Scump is there more so than he's been most this year when it comes to consistent play. He's pretty much been positive almost every single map as far as respawn is. I mean, even search, he had that 12-3 performance against New York, map 5. Incredible performance, incredible game.
Yep.
He's showing out. He's showing the player that he can be towards the end of the year. And the fact that it's online is even cooler too, because he does struggle online. He was kind of talking about it today in the Barracks episode with Teep. Online's a little bit weird, and transitioning to it is kind of tough for him. tough for like the huntsman and stuff like that with formal, especially being in California and stuff like that. Um, I
I'm gonna ignore that comment. I'm just gonna respond to it
am
in
ignoring
chat
it too.
because he's trying to rile us up live on stream. That's okay. I'm just gonna hit him with a couple of no's, but it's okay. There we go.
So hard to live and die with one guy. It puts so much pressure on Preston. I agree.
Yeah,
Um,
and he knows it. I mean, you've
yeah,
seen his tweets.
he kind of thrives in it, dude. I mean, sometimes if it really is what it is, he will thrive on what what Haiti is getting. I mean, look at champs last year. Last year, everybody was saying, "Oh, they're gonna lose champs because of Preston," and even playoffs too. They're like, they're not gonna win
Hmm.
because of Preston. And look at both those events. Both those Sundays, he went off. He had great games. He's an entryman, so obviously he's not gonna be having the KD and stuff like that. He's not gonna be up there as much as other players. But he sets up his team to win, which is an incredible personality trait that not many people have. And he's a selfless motherfucker, dude. Which is why he's such a good person on this roster in place of fucking Gunless. Gunless is still a player that is going to be looking out for himself in some cases. When Prestini is like, well, there's three of them probably over here. Let me run in and find out, and then open up the whole fucking map for my team. Sure, we'll be down a player, but I trust my teammates enough to make the fucking plays, and it works a lot of the time. A lot of those situations it did not work out for FaZe, but when it comes to the Optic series, it worked. When it comes to that round 11 versus Optic,
Oh my!
it was the most
I can't wait to talk
mind-boggling
about
thing
that.
ever.
I can't
And
wait.
honestly, yeah, like I can't either. But yeah, it was definitely heartbreaking and seeing all they're not going to win because of Preston. It's going to be Preston. Like instead of looking at a player who's going to be the reason they lose, look at a player who's going to be the reason they win. Like I said, Scump is going to be the reason that this team is going to win and has the possibility to win champs. If he stays up with that consistent play like he's been doing against FaZe, against New York, against these younger players and these players who played a weirder spot like Attach, like Zuma, like Mac, like all of FaZe, he played a great series versus FaZe, which is something that can kind of stand
Wait.
testament.
You're talking about who played a great series? Scump?
Scump, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Had
yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
amazing
Yes, he
series
did.
against FaZe. I basically played bottom cap so well that map 5, 100%.
Yeah,
Probably the reason they won. And
literally. I mean, they talked about. I mean, him and Alec talked about it
yeah,
on Twitter. The
like
the
it was the reason they won.
you are correct in looking at let's look at the player that's looking to help them win. But the thing I noticed with Preston and the thing that I just harken back to when we're talking about Pristini and United and now Huntsman is he loves to play with speed. This dude is running around the map, and there was a lot of times in this Atlanta series where he died with his gun up, and you just didn't see Scump and Formal dying with their guns up. And by if you guys don't know what I mean by guns up, I'm talking about sprinting.
Like sprinting, yeah.
Yeah, sprinting into the room. When somebody's running and they got their weapon in their hand, I have an airsoft gun here, so well, I can't show it on stream. That's right. Like yikes. But when you're running with your weapon, yeah, I thought about that for a second. When you're running with your weapon and then you get into your sprint, your gun goes up like this. And so it's harder for the character in the game to make this motion when the guy turns the corner and beams you. When Preston plays well, he listens to his brother, and his brother's telling him to slow down. If Preston can slow his game down, he becomes a threat on the map. He might not be the best performer, but like you said, he becomes a threat. So sprinting is fun though. Sprinting is fun. Sprinting is great. I died
Honestly,
sprinting all the time.
that comment was more towards me because
Oh.
whenever Scott first started playing with us, he always wanted to like look to improve and always look at always look to me to be like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do you think I'm doing wrong? And my first comment, without a doubt, was you sprint too much. He does. I mean, the kid sprints into fucking gunfights way too much sometimes, just like Pristini does, man. It either works out for his timing if he gets into his spot that he's trying to go to, or it works out terribly where you're trying to run somewhere as fast as you possibly can get there, and then psych, somebody gets there right before you do and just fucking gets the best timing on you.
Yeah, and that is one of the things to think about being COD players that we are. You more so in the competitive scene. You know about COD timing. It happens every game. It's not just a BO4. It's not an Infinity Ward or a Treyarch. Trait. It's a Call of Duty trait.
Scott Trey, yep.
Yep. So if he can manage to just if Preston just needs to relax and take his time and not be so sporadic, exactly. I mean,
I think that's what makes him deadly, though. Is the the real kicker to that. I mean, he's the reason that they get to places quicker. He's the reason that sometimes when they rotate, he can get into
hmm
places that literally just fucks over the other team. So I think it's more so he doesn't need to stop sprinting or needs to relax or needs to take his time or something like that. But he needs to think a little bit more. He needs to think more methodically in certain situations. I think in certain situations, like Joe said, he will literally just fucking run.
yep,
He'll run somewhere.
he'll just go. Yep. If he can get out of his head and play more with his team, the Huntsmen have a really good chance of winning next weekend. I agree. That's why between the way that Scump and Formal played, and Arcity's had a wonderful weekend, and I mean I don't even have to comment on Envoy. I mean that guy was Captain fucking clutch. If there was somebody besides Formal, it was Envoy. But at the same time, Preston, when he played well, that was the difference in some of these maps. And it's true. If he can get out of his head and play more with his teammates, it's going to be a little scary. It's going to be a little scary. Dallas going to be a little scared. A little scared. Oh,
Oh, look who stops
look
fucking
who's
by.
here. What's up, Raph? They're getting fourth. Oh, man. Raph, you missed it. We actually talked about you and my piss poor decision on going against
Who's
London.
got waiting off to get?
Wait,
Shit.
oh,
Well, it's about to get
we're
lively in
getting,
the
we're
fucking
getting
comments.
spicy. Um, I
Uh,
mean, thoughts on Royal Ravens. Well, I'll go back to what I
oh
said
shit!
before.
No, honestly, that's a yeah. Do that, and then honestly, it's a perfect fucking segue into the fucking last series before they get to fourth. So
Well, you know what? Then let's wait because the next one that we're going to talk about is Toronto and Dallas, and right after Toronto and Dallas, we're going to be talking about London. And so, if you can stick around for that long, I will gladly talk about London because I have some very positive things to say about them. Yeah, don't remind me. Oh, well, it doesn't help. Person has been seen doesn't help that Preston hasn't seen a fan base like the Green Wall. That's true. I mean,
he had a United,
yeah, but
which
the United
once it
fans were a
grew, it
lot.
became really well. It really came really great.
Yeah, the United fans are a little nicer to Pristini. Former Green Wall, now Energy fans
Yeah,
are
that's a really good point, though.
slashers
The
poop dick. Get out of here.
the Green Wall, the NRG fam, whatever you want to call them, the Huntsman fans. He's never seen a team that's going to be on his throat, breathing down his neck as much as this fan base. This fan base wants everyone to succeed, but sometimes they can definitely be more toxic than they need to be.
Oh yeah.
And so simplistic too, and so simple-minded when it comes to it, man. Um, it's stupid to see, honestly, like the way that people are just like, well, Pristini just does this, doesn't do this right. He goes super negative. That's why they lose. Well, it's like, okay, but if you actually watch and you pay attention to what he's doing on the map, you'll understand why he's going negative or why he's not the most positive person on the team, and you understand his role and competitive. You understand.
Yeah. Scott says
Yo,
London's getting 3-0'd in 30 minutes on
yo,
Saturday.
yeah, but then look what fucking Rav replied. Hey,
What
what
time
time
does
does
Optic play?
That's awesome.
Oh, for anybody that's going to be watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching it on YouTube, how you doing? Breaking the fourth wall here. Go ahead and go ahead and look at the chat because it's getting good. Okay, we're gonna move on to winners round 3, Dallas and Toronto, and yeah, a great match. 5 games, and it was 3-2 Dallas, and I don't think I had well, maybe I did. Give me a second on this one.
I definitely didn't.
I did. I did have Toronto and Dallas in the final. Look at there. Oh, or
Yeah.
in the winners round. Look at there. Shotzi Hook and the boys make quick work. This is what I wrote down. Shotzi Hook and the boys make quick work of Toronto 3-1 and will face FaZe in the winners final. False. It was actually Clay. Fucking nasty. Championship Clay is just, I don't know, man. He had a 1.25 in that match against Toronto. He was the highest performing player by leaps and bounds when it came to this Dallas roster. I am not taking anything away from Dallas, period. All 5 players played amazing. All 5 players well above a 1.0 KD. All 5 players contributing to the Dallas win, playing smart. Um, so Dallas wins the first hardpoint 250 to 182. Toronto takes the next 2. They win the search 6-4 and the dom 158 to 155. And both of those are close. And I think that was the wake up call. It was like a hello, this team's gonna beat you. And hardpoint came, and they absolutely
Smoke Toronto.
waxed Toronto. 250.
You might as well add next map too, because they smoked them next map.
Yeah, 250 to 107 in hardpoint, and then it was a 6-2 in search and destroy. I mean, the subliners? No. We'll get to them. They're next. This team, insane. They turned it on. Yeah, 5 games, but I'm sorry, the first hard point wasn't close. 250 to 182 in favor of Dallas. 6-4 in favor of Toronto for search is close. 3 points separated them in the domination. And again, it's that wake-up call. I gotta win. I gotta win.
This fucking chat is spicy, dude. I can't get my eyes off it.
Say hi to them while you guys are watching London.
That's bad.
I love our chat. It's so great. Oh man,
that was probably the best roast I've seen in a while. That was good.
That's
good shit.
Oh my, that's good. That is good. Okay, so with this, Toronto's not out of it, but Dallas moves on to top 3, and Toronto falls right into the losers round 4. And we're gonna get to them in 1 second, because now we're gonna talk about the spiciness that's happened on in the chat. We're gonna talk about London, New York. And since Raf is here now, I'm going to tell him, I'll be honest with you, man, I admitted, I don't know why I was so against, I don't really understand why I was so against London winning and going somewhere. They're a great team, and I've been saying it all year. The Marshall twins, and you got Zero, Shawnee, and Dylan. I mean, they're gross. They're nasty. I don't know why I doubted them, and I'm glad that I'm wrong. They ended up taking the series 3-2 against the New York Subliners. I'm not sure if I had these 2 teams going. Let's see. No, I had New York and Paris, and I said that New York was going to win in 5. But I said that Paris was going to win, so again, I'm wrong. So now my bracket's a little bit thrown off here since London's in here. But let's talk about this game just for a little bit here. Scraps is my dad. Scraps is go. I mean, fucking Scraps and Wuskins. Wuskins with the sniper is like Dashy with the sniper for their team. It's like GodRx for the sniper. I mean, it's like formal for the. I mean, Wuskins hits his shots. The guy is gross, and we're looking at a 250 to 108. I'm sorry, a 250 to 180 London hardpoint win. 6-4 search and destroy win for New York. A 176 to 145 Dom win for New York. So they're up 2-1 in the series, and then London turns it on. 250 to 209 and a just blasting of 6-1 in the game 5. Mind you, that sent New York home. That was the end. Their season ended being up 2-1 in the series and getting absolutely blasted into oblivion. I
mean, dude, this series was one that I didn't even see coming. I didn't see these teams matching up, anything like that. And then when they did, it was like, holy shit. Okay, well, this is fucking not what I expected to happen at all.
Yeah, no.
And it did. And fucking, they were just having their way with them.
I mean, if you look at New York's, which is just, again, we're going to go back to that Toronto, Florida series where Toronto was outslayed. New York, oh my God. I don't even think I have the time to do this math in my head. Give me a second. 27, 28, 29, 35. So London in that series, they won and were outslayed by 33 kills. Every single member on London in that 5-game series was under a 1.0 KD. All 5 players. All 5 players for New York. I'm sorry. 4 of the 5 accuracy at a .97. Attach at a 1.27. I mean, 4 of the New York players were above a 1.0. These guys were shooting their guns like they were before. But this time, outclassed, outsmarted. And it showed. Look at, I mean, I don't even know what to say. The
Hold
search.
on. Here's a fucking lovely little question. Speaking of search and destroy,
Oh, here we
when
go.
it comes to them, would you guys say Weskin is one of the most, if not the most feared sniper in this S&D in the league this year? Without a doubt, the most effective sniper. The most feared, arguable, because there are snipers that are just as good as him, and anybody at pro level could realistically really use a sniper and be good. But this year, he is the most effective sniper, and that's not debatable. It's a literal statistic that by 50 plus kills, he like London Royal Ravens as a whole. So I mean, most of that, if not all of it, is by Weskin.
Waskin,
He
yeah.
was literally the best sniper
Yep.
in this game, the most effective and arguably the best this year for sure.
Yeah. I've lost full. There's no way, Scott.
I
mean,
mean, that's it's
that
literally
one.
a, I
Yeah,
mean,
I was gonna say that one. Oh man, that one's just straight facts. I mean, that's just.
I'm gonna go back right now and look at the specific, because without a doubt they literally had over 100 something snipes, and that was like
TJ
Weskin and then like any other team.
Tej picked up a sniper this weekend, was already more feared.
That's the
Okay.
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Well, okay, but I mean, even if that was true, like Joe's saying, it's one event. I mean, that is true. It's one event. Wuskins has shown from the start of the season, from the launch weekend, how many times have we seen him pick off 3 people in a round of a round in a round of S&D? It happens all the time. I have nothing to argue with Cap on that one. He is the most effective sniper. Most feared? I wouldn't say most feared, but in this game alone, top 3 easily.
Okay, so I definitely lied. It's still by a decent margin. It's by 16 snipes compared to FaZe. But yeah, I mean,
okay, so they're being outsniped by FaZe. Oh, a bunch of S&D.
Other way around. So
they're outsniping FaZe. Okay.
Yeah, they're outsniping FaZe this year in terms of search. So yeah, like without a doubt, the most effective sniper this entire year.
Oh, when they had a fair chance. Wow, it sounds like Scott's slowly forming into Slasher. Scott,
Slasher, is that you?
Yeah. Actually, Scott, it's funny that you said fair chance, because I'm just letting you know right now, we've got some great talking points to hit up, which I seem to have lost now. Where are my talking points? Give me 1 second. Here they are.
I've heard any from mostly out, any caster that Weskin, you cannot deny that. This year, man, for 1,000% without a doubt, Weskin is the most effective sniper in the CDL.
Yep. Yeah, we got some big topics to talk about, and one of them is Texas Kenny and Slasher. So we trust me.
And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that may have to wait for the next one.
Yeah, because we're riding up on 2 minutes.
We're riding up, and not gonna lie, I gotta pee. I'm holding this bitch, and I'm fucking being a trooper. And I also have a few things I gotta take care of tonight too, so I can't be much longer. But trust me, bro, one of the first things we're gonna talk about before anything next podcast will be all these. We have a few just now important topics that we literally came up with in probably 10 minutes. I mean, we have so many great important topics to open up with for next podcast. You will not want to miss that. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, and also I apologize on my half here for the podcast. I did not prep a questions page quick enough. Not trying to make excuses. I happened to start classes this week, and I've been trying to get books and things like that and get some homework done before classes, and so I apologize for not getting a question sheet out. So next podcast, I'm not going to do questions so much. I'm just going to be like, you guys bring up some topics that you want us to discuss and hop in chat and discuss them with us. Let's get this going. So be prepared for that. Optic Gaming is a top 3 team if they have the connection they did this weekend all year. Oh!
Don't agree with that.
You're going to get banned. I'm kidding. I don't think top 3. I think top 5.
Top 6.
Or top 6 is what I meant to say. Yeah, top 6. 5th, 6th, yeah. But you're telling me
I also kind of agree with that though, and like with one of our topics that we'll obviously get more into when it comes to the actual thing, like next week and everything like that. But would they have been better, or would they have had a better placement come the beginning of playoffs if they had this type of connection all year? And I'm gonna say a quick answer right now is yes. I definitely believe probably playoffs ends up getting a little bit mixed up.
Top
A
six
little
at
bit.
what?
Top six, top six. What other teams with their connection all season do you say?
Well, here I have to say this: is if it's top three, then you're saying that Optic Gaming, the current Optic Gaming roster, which would not be a thing because Draws and Hollow wouldn't even be on the roster if this wasn't online. You're saying that well, okay, you're saying there's a top three team if they had the connection they did this weekend. Okay, I mean, fine, they top three team if they had the connection they had this weekend all year. I don't agree with that. Still, I don't agree with that. Nasty, absolutely. Disgusting, for sure. Top six, they should have. Did they? No. Are they better than the Huntsmen, the Dallas Empire, or the Atlanta FaZe? No. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. Um, they are damn good, but they are not top three. If we saw more than just the latter half of the season, I would tend to agree with that a little bit more. If the games that they were playing earlier were going to, if the games that they played earlier in the season were better, and they showed a little bit more, then yeah, I could believe that. Yeah, but for me, Huntsman got lucky. They wouldn't be as okay. Hold on. Who are you taking out of the top three? Huntsman, FaZe, or Empire. Huntsman got lucky. They wouldn't be as good. Hold on. What made Huntsman lucky and made Optic unlucky? Because Formal is in L.A. and if I'm not mistaken, Preston and Alec don't live in Dallas.
Yeah, they do.
Do they now?
They live in Texas, not specifically like close to them, but yeah, the four of them are definitely
Okay.
there beside them.
But again, I mean, I'm going to go back to this entire season. Okay, OGLA are fourth easily.
Like to be fair, three of them played on the same connection.
I mean,
Like, didn't three of them play in like the complexity facility, right? Slasher, Kenny, TJ,
yeah.
and then you have Seth at his house, RC's at his apartment, Prasini at his house, apartment, whatever. Envoy at the Hex quarters, and then Formal in LA. They're not playing on the same connection. Three of them are playing on the same connection and played very well.
Yeah, they live in Frisco. Oh, they live in Frisco. That's right.
The only
Yeah.
one that doesn't live in Frisco is Prasini, besides Formal, obviously. Better than Florida, and they showed that. I
Top
agree with that.
top three. Top three is a bad take, but I'll stand by fourth. Better than Florida, and they showed that. Better than London. Okay, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I definitely believe that Optic Gaming is definitely better than Florida. I mean, yes, Awakening and Pharaoh are disgusting, but like Cap and I said before, once everybody caught on to that Awakening Pharaoh meta, Florida basically disappeared. So, yeah, okay, fine. You make that argument. I don't mind that argument as much. So okay, so we're gonna get through these last couple of games here, and then we're gonna call it a night, everybody. We're gonna be back for episode 3 soon, but we're gonna get into losers round 3. And we're gonna talk about we just talked about it. Optic Gaming in Florida, and sure, Statline says domination was close, but the Optic Gaming LA squad absolutely fried Florida.
It
Fried them in the S&D. Almost every person on Florida was at a .6 KD in Search and Destroy, man. Yeah. It was rough. Texas Kenny is something different. Kenny went 7-3 in that map, which, okay, yeah, it's not a lot, but I mean, they only went 7 rounds. They didn't go a full 11.
Yeah.
So he died 3 times in 7 rounds. That's not bad at all. And one of those rounds was a loss. So his team was there getting the trade. His team was there making the plays. We're not going to talk about this a whole lot because we want to get into quickly, what Florida's going to do. Yeah. Optic walked away with a huge win. Yeah, they put the clinic on Gunrunner.
They really did.
It wasn't even close, man. It wasn't even close. The S&D was quick. I blinked and it was over. This is a, oh, well, oh shit. Okay, well, I guess we're going to the domination. I got it. Okay. So let's look at Florida here. I'm not even gonna begin to unpack the absolute horrendous performance by Havoc in that series. In that series, not in the tournament. In that series, definitely a costing factor. Not the losing factor. Definitely a costing factor. Um, you needed Awakening and Pharaoh to be those guys, and I even said that they were going to be the X factors if Florida was going to make a run, and they they were good, but they weren't. Awakening wasn't the same Awakening that he was when the season started, and
I agree.
Pharaoh was he's been consistent all year, but you don't need consistency at champs. You need that extra step above consistency to hit that mark. And I think that if they would have had that, this might have gone a different way. So I ask you really quick, man. Florida, Pharaoh, Frosty, Havoc, Awakening, Skies. Do they keep Awakening? This is four
I
LAN
think
players in an onliner.
I think you keep him, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like even though it has been online, he's gotten a lot of flack for being an online player and playing as good as he has been doing online. I think you keep him in the next season, and once LAN start happening again, you do give him that shot. You give him the chance to prove himself on LAN and see how good he is. I still think he's a young player still, obviously, so he has time to get more consistent and grow as a player.
Mm-hmm.
I think next season there's no reason he doesn't start on the Florida Mutineers despite any other changes. I think he has secured himself a spot as well as Pharaoh and probably Skies for sure. I think that core three stays together. As far as Havoc and as far as Frosty, they could change, man. They really could. They could change to different players. Doesn't I'm not sure who exactly.
Well, don't forget, Mox is on the bench.
Mox on the bench. That's true. Problem with that is though, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna be having too many R's next season. And if there is a 2 AR meta, Awakening feels that pretty well. Unfortunately, I think Mox ends up probably getting traded to another team or getting picked up by another expansion team or
Yep,
something like that.
I can see that absolutely.
Uh, Hell, like I said, if TJ and Dashy go off and be different, um, potentially putting Mox with them, making a core through with that, making potentially somebody like Havoc be a fourth member to an expansion team with them. I don't know, man. As far as next season, with people being on different teams and being traded at expansion teams, all these rumors and stuff like that, 4v4, whatever it is, there's so much that we don't know right now, and there's so much that could happen that it's getting me really excited, man. I think the rumors are going to start popping just mere weeks after
Oh,
playoffs is done next weekend.
I was gonna say, I honestly, I believe like 2 days after champs is done, teams that are gonna make a change, shit's gonna hit the fan real quick.
But I
Joe's,
think
oh,
it'll take a while. I'm sorry. It'll take a while to kind of form more rumors and stuff like that because
mm-hmm.
it's more of a franchise league. It's more contract based and stuff like that. It's not as easy to say, I want to go play for this team. I want to go play for this team anymore. It's well, I want to move this team. I don't want to be on this team anymore, or I want other people on this team moved out. It's gonna be a lot more of a movement base, a lot more working parts in this now that there's a franchise league. I think Farrah's a free agent because they signed him to a 1 year deal. Honestly, don't know. Truthfully, I don't know what kind of deal that he's on or like how fucking contracts even work in the CDL. But I think if he does become a free agent, he stays in that team. Truthfully, um, like I said, that core three of Skies, Awakening, and Pharaoh is a good three. You find more consistency out of Havoc and Frosty, then you probably have those series going a lot differently.
I think so. Yep, I I agree with you. Just be Florida. What could have been? Who knows? Um, okay, we're getting into our last three games here before we're gonna call it a night. Uh, and we're gonna hop right into some really, really fiery. Actually, I think it's only two games. I'm sorry. 1, 2, yeah. Oh, ooh, we got some spiciness coming. Is Roth still in here? Because we're about to hit this
This
London
team,
Royal Ravens team one more time. Um, Toronto, London. Wow, watching
what a series.
watching the series was so much different than trying to predict it. 250 to 230, Toronto wins the hard point. And I hope they enjoyed it because that's the last that's the last map
Last
that
map
they
they
would
won
ever
all year.
win. 6-4 London in the search, 155, 146 and Dom in a 250 to 179 in the hard point, and that is what we call a beating. These guys came out, like I said before, when London had all the negative KDs. Okay, a wake up call for them. They came out against Toronto. This is 2 games in a row where 4 of the 5 players on Toronto are not getting kills. They're not winning their engagements. They're losing rotational battles. I watched this game pretty in depth, and I just to see the way that Shawnee put on the fucking hard hat and went to work. It gave me chills, man. This guy, he did not mess around. He put the hat on and went to work and took Toronto and said, "Come here, you're my son now." And
My bitch.
yeah, and he did. Shawnee was insane. I said it was going to be Dylan. Holy shit, was I wrong? Shawnee stepped up. He grabbed that series by the scruff of the neck and made it his own. Um, and look where it's got them. They're going to be facing off against the Huntsmen in the final losers round. I'm sorry, in losers round 5. That is next weekend. Uh, for top 3. Top 3. Yeah, Ramaza is owned by Shawnee. Yeah, he is
Yeah.
the after
He
that.
bought all the land on Ramaza.
Yeah,
That's his shit now.
he
You know,
all of the surrounding area, all of the favelas over there, everything that's all his now. He owns that. So, yeah, dude, London impressive, incredibly impressive. Scraps overrated, Wuskin's outdated, Shawnee overappreciated, Zero
zero
debated,
debated, Dylan
Zero. Why are you talking shit about Zero and Dylan frustrated? I think it's more like Scott frustrated. I don't think he wanted to see London win. Oh my god, you're that salty?
frustrated.
Oh, you can do all that while you're watching. I love this chat, man. I'm telling you, London, wow. So let's get to it. Because next week we're going to be talking, obviously, teams are going to be making changes. All the games are going to be over. We're going to be talking about the 9-game series between whoever it may be and so much more. So let's get to Toronto. Vance, Cammy, Kleenex, Classic, and Methods. This was the first team that had a 10-man roster. The only team that has a 10-man roster. But also, the only team that sat Brack all year. What the fuck was that? What was that?
You know, man, all year I've just been waiting for Bragg to finally get a chance. And they hadn't been playing terribly all year either.
No, not at
Toronto's
all.
always been like a middle of the pack team, and to have them not at least try Bragg has been very frustrating.
Oh,
Watching a clip where people were kind of going like, "Oh, well, they don't need this role, they don't whatever," and then him just being like, "Dude, I can play both roles. I can literally fill whatever spot they fucking need."
Just
They didn't
let
give him
me
a spot on
know.
him.
Yeah,
And like
exactly.
this year, Bragg was winning tons of tournaments this year. I mean, on top of his little contract that he probably has, he literally made his money probably more than his contract this season just playing fucking S&D tournaments. I mean, Warzone, whatever tournaments. I mean, sitting back all year made 0 sense. I agree. I feel like with that 10-man roster, you try out different things, and if shit doesn't work or if people don't prove themselves, I mean, it's kind of hard to do in a system like this where there's not regular season matches and there's just the straight up tournaments. I still feel you got to give Brack a chance, man. Arguably a top 10 player last year. He was a hell of a player. Potentially him maybe getting put on an expansion roster, having his contract bought out, whatever it is. I think, I hope that kid gets a chance, just like Scott says.
Maybe one day. I was kind of pissed to watch Looney sit on the bench all year. There's so many things about this Toronto team that they were good, but I don't know, man. I frustrated to see their outcome with how many players were on the bench, with how much skill that they had. It took forever to get Kleenex in the lineup, and they put Kleenex in the lineup, all of a sudden he starts running show. So interesting. We're gonna see what Toronto is gonna do. I don't know, man. And we're gonna get into our last game here, and it is going to be that
The
the game of the year, hands down, the best series so
arguably
far.
arguably one of the greatest series probably in recent memory, up to probably 5-6 years ago, man. I've been watching COD for a hell of a long time, and holy motherfucking shit, tits, vagina, fucking weird, everything. I have no clue where to start with this, man. What a roller coaster of emotions, man.
Yeah.
Going into this series, I'm honestly sitting there like, shit, man. Kenny and Slasher are running the fucking show.
Yeah.
They, Jesus, man, they were doing crazy shit all fucking
Yeah.
tournament long up to this point. So at that point, I'm thinking Slasher's been doing great all season, but you put Kenny in there doing as well as he did, it gets scary, and it proved.
Yeah, 5-game series. I mean, could you get any closer? Round
Really couldn't be.
11, game 5, 1v1. Arklov Peak, Envoy versus Tej. I mean, the only way you could make that better was to literally have Slasher versus Scump. That's the only other way that you could have a more explosive 1v1 to determine it. But man, I surprised I didn't get a warning from my apartment complex for as loud as I yelled. Because when they won that game 5, oh my gosh, man.
I mean, dude, you saw me. I fucking sprinted into my fucking room to make it for round 11 for shit's sake. I was sitting there watching, talking to my brother and my mom out in the fucking kitchen. I see it's round 11, and I remembered my fucking PC still on, and I still have my Discord. I'm still in the Discord, whatever. Sprint into my room for round 11. I'm like, I'm fucking here. Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Round
CDL
11 happens. I'm literally fucking screaming. I'm like, let's go! Holy fuck! I'm literally going fucking absolutely fucking nuts on the Discord, on everything like that. And I literally just, after that, I was like, all right, I'll be right back. I literally go out there and I'm like, Mom, don't worry, nobody died.
Nobody died.
Nobody died.
This game, besides going 5-5, round 11, these two teams were separated by 2 kills. 2 kills separated this whole thing. In the scheme of 5 games. This was probably the closest match you could ever get, and is probably going to be the closest match we're ever going to get for a while. I'm sure that we're going to see some great games in champs in the Final Four. I don't doubt that at all. But to have a game of this caliber between Optic's old guard and Slasher's Optic was impressive. Heart racing, sick to my stomach being a Huntsman fan, but so relieved when that 1v1 went down and Envoy got it, because it was so, I had to rewatch it, making sure that Arcity, what happened to Arcides? What did he do? He got, it was insane. Not taking away anything from Optic.
Man.
I mean,
if you think about it, like you said, the kill difference was 2 kills. If you take into account, if TJ won that 1v1, that entire series would have been down to 1 kill.
Yeah.
1 fucking kill. And even 2 is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You still have that the 1 kill out of that 2 kills, the difference maker, Envoy winning Teach. The second kill probably being RC's 2-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Gets 1, absolutely fucking smokes Hollow. Puts into a 1v1 when TJ wins the gunfight against Arcides. Comes out, boom, fucking Envoy just wins the 1v1.
Yeah.
Those for me, those were my 2 kills.
Yep.
Like if I had to pick 2 fucking kills, it literally has to be those.
Yeah, absolutely. Sick online champs event. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't care who wins champs. I obviously want Huntsman to win, but at the end of it, it doesn't matter who wins it, because it's going to have an asterisk because it was online. How many people got hit offline? How many people had unfair connections? How many people had better internet? There's a whole bunch of different factors that we'll get into after champs that we're going to break down more and more. But know that it doesn't matter who wins. There will be an asterisk because it's online. It's beginning to get a lot more chippy. Well, we're going to end it right there. That was an insane matchup. Be prepared because next week we're going over this again, except, yeah, we're going in to talk about the Final Four. And on top of that, we've got some great topics to go over. We do want to talk about. There it is. Nope, sorry, that's not it. Here it is. We did want to talk about some of the, and we will. We'll come back to some of the games. We want to talk about the Octane and Slack thing, calling out Denton Zed, Kenny and Zero being booted, the conspiracy of the 100K bracket, which that's gonna be fun to talk about. Texas Kenny and Slasher would have more stable connection, place them higher. We're gonna talk about the bubble, what should have been, what could have been, what all that. And then expansions, the one of the most fun thing to talk about. What cities are gonna get expansions? Like, I can't wait. This is gonna be good. So, wait, what happened here? Dang it, Joe. What? Next week is the recap of Sigarda versus Battery and UFC 230. Sigarda's gonna beat my ass. What are you talking about? You get in my head, Joe. I'll say, oh, Joe's living in Scott's head rent free. Oh boy. Episode 4, Ball Sports with Buzz Guy. We'll think about that one there, Captain. We'll see. But everybody, thanks again for tuning in to our Power Grid podcast, episode 2. And I'm Battery Power.
I'm Capshotz.
And we will see you guys next week. Have a good one.